Alam ko lang mo tutaw, alam mo siya tokso lagi dili lal tutaw, ngabang gila ka farma okya kangi. Mahal ngi kita brandi ngarsi mahal ko ulgo sa brandi mo pa program kita tol man tutaw brandi.
Malo total marek agro ko Moises Paida man sa ko introduce sa mamang ko ang sel drong la transition ma abes la government ma ulong al Paida di dilo sa kafar ding ka fa do ngali lo sing minister kafar ding ko ang sel drong la transition di malung total ko ka minister malung total marek agro ko lo reng sertal ngal Palau 87.9 el al total de mal ko ang ayang tukubet sel guest el al total el kamal na roy del blue actually ta ko rakmed el blue ending kuk roidra kuk dungra distance eta sel blue ra New Zealand en kanga angel el domo ko dongi la sen first secretary da New Zealand consulate mga daman mga sulen ngatiang nga ko rato kubet el te al ra school el mail ko ramo o ko aisel girel mak mo ngita vek ladro ko yebo ko adulto ko Miguel el bolsa bedel welcoming. So good morning to everyone listening. Thank you for tuning in to 87.9 Eco Paradise. We're very excited. We have the first secretary of the New Zealand consulate here with us this morning. We're very excited to have you here. One, because we're very excited that you're coming from another island country to tell us a little bit about New Zealand and the opportunities that are there. And we also have the Honorable Minister Gafar, who's here to share us a little bit about his experience being in school in New Zealand, and a lot of Palauans that are young, they're going out looking for ways that they can pay for scholarships or pay for college. So this is something that we're really excited to talk about. So first of all, you are the first secretary of the New Zealand consulate. Can you tell us a little bit about that role as a first secretary?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Richard Kim, and I am as introduced, I'm the first secretary of the New Zealand consulate based out of Honolulu. So, the role that I am currently in, so I'm here to look after New Zealand's bilateral relationships with Palau, the Federated States of Micronesia, and the Marshall Islands. And part of advancing the bilateral relationship with the three countries is primarily providing development assistance. So I will be going to all three of the countries fairly regularly for the next 3 years. And then I will be engaging with, host governments in the three countries to discuss what the development priorities are and how New Zealand might be able to support those, and as a result, how we can then build a stronger relationship together.
Right. And I like how you're based off in Honolulu, because I was just thinking about this. Like, Hawaii is, of course, U.S. is Hawaii, but New Zealand is kind of like Australia's New Zealand, or like Australia's Hawaii. It's like an island near a big country, and that's how I thought about Hawaii, And I'm saying this because a lot of times Palauans fly off to Hawaii to look for opportunities, but New Zealand is much closer than Hawaii to Palau.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a flight, but I mean, especially now that we have the direct flight,
right?
It's kind of a closer Hawaii, basically.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely encourage everyone to visit New Zealand from Palau. It's an amazing place. I myself, have come or moved to New Zealand as part of an immigrant family as well.
Really?
So my family, my parents, my sister and I, we moved to New Zealand in 1995, and I've been raised there.
Wow. That's amazing. That's really amazing. I mean, New Zealand is like a melting pot of a lot of different things. Like, I mean, the culture, the people, the food,
yes, yeah.
the exciting activities that are there.
Yeah.
Minister, can you share with us some of those experiences that you felt when you first went to New Zealand? Like, what are some of those things that you saw?
Well, first of all, thank you, Chief Randy, for the introduction, and thank you, Mr. Kim, for the invitation to join this interview. Being interviewed primarily as a former New Zealand Aid scholarship recipient. But in terms of the experience, Randy, I think a lot of folks don't realize that New Zealand is still a Pacific Island
I
country,
say, yep,
and it's regarded as part of the Polynesian group
yeah.
with the Maori culture and the people. It is a beautiful place, as Richard has mentioned. It's a wonderful place to study and to visit. Of course, with Palauans, most of us have a little bit of a hard time understanding the accent for both the Kiwi and the Aussie accent. But you know, as the world gets smaller,
Yeah.
and we're more exposed to social media, and of course more travelers coming in from the South Pacific, primarily New Zealand and Australia. I think you know, if people decide to go and study there, it's a wonderful place. It's a little bit different in terms of the
The lanes, because you drive on the left side.
well, yes, and then it has a different feel to like U.S. cities
Right,
and,
yeah.
and places. It's cold. We'll just say
Yeah.
that for most
I went
people.
there in August, and I was thinking summer, but in August, that is their winter.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Still winter. Yeah.
And I was wearing shorts, by the way, when I landed. It was terrible.
Fatal mistake.
But there's a lot of stuff there. Like I mean, there's a lot of shopping. There's a lot of like, you know, the activity, the life. Like it's a city. Like it's a big city. And for the longest time when I was a kid, I really thought like, you know, I'm going to another island, like a little, you know, islander feel. But it's a big city too. Like, you know, it's a small island, but it's a big city as well.
Yeah, yeah, New Zealand is just really great for outdoor activities as well too. I myself have done multiple what we call the Great Walks. So
Oh, yes, the Great Walks.
yeah, you go out into the bush for about a week at a time, and you're covering some very scenic parts of New Zealand, and it's really amazing. And I would highly encourage anyone.
Okay, you have to explain to everyone listening, when you say you go out to the bush, what does that mean?
So you're packing all the food equipment that you're going to need. There are huts that's built perhaps about 20 kilometers from each other, so you're probably walking about 15-20 kilometers through amazing bush in New Zealand.
Wow.
It can be the bush, it can be in the mountains. You stay in the huts and you cook your own meals and whatnot.
Wow.
So it's kind of like camping type stuff. And yeah, you just get to just see some really amazing natural parts of New Zealand.
And then, Minister, you said something very interesting. You said Kiwi accent, but there's also another Kiwi, the Kiwi bird. So can you tell us a little bit of the relation between Kiwi bird and Kiwi people?
And the fruit.
Yeah, and the fruit. Kiwi, please explain. Both of you are.
So obviously, the kiwi bird is a native bird to New Zealand. It is a flightless bird, so it is our indigenous bird, and we're very proud of the birds. I think New Zealand, before it was colonized and whatnot, it used to be a big sanctuary for a lot of birds. Kiwi birds are, because they're quite vulnerable, they're flightless and they're almost blind. And I think when they have offsprings as well too, that I don't know if you've seen any photos of it, but they lay very, very large eggs.
Wow.
So I think just given that kind of biology, there have been a lot of predators that went after the kiwis. So we had undertaken a lot of conservation efforts to protect the kiwis. And last I heard, the population of kiwis have grown quite significantly. So still considered endangered, but
That is amazing.
gotten much better.
That's good.
Palau, I mean, we do a lot of environmental protection, so we understand exactly how and what you mean by that. And we also have a native bird that's similar to the kiwi.
Okay.
Yeah, and we call it brai. Yeah, and it's also a flightless bird, and it also lays really large eggs. Are the kiwis like monogamous? Because our bird is monogamous.
Are you still talking about the bird or people?
The kiwi people or the kiwi? All right. Well, it's really interesting. There's a lot of great stuff in New Zealand that we would love to see, and I know a lot of Palauans would really enjoy New Zealand. The food, Can you tell us a little bit about your experience as well, and the place that you were living, and how? First of all, how did you end up in New Zealand?
Well, you know, I studied in Auckland, which is the perhaps the biggest city in New Zealand, compared to the capital, which is Wellington in the South Island. But um, I guess I have to kind of take a step back to really explain how I ended up in New Zealand. So prior to going off and studying in Auckland, I was already working at the ministry. I actually went to high school in Australia, Queensland.
Wow.
And so, the academic qualifications were easier for me to get into New Zealand University because I went to high school in Australia. The second is I took a 14, 15-year gap year. I thought that I was going to graduate high school and then immediately start college or university. Ended up taking more years than 1 year. But yeah, I think one of the messages that I really wanted to put out there is for it's never too late to continue your college education, but of course, the sooner the better. You don't have to wait 13 or 14 years. But so yeah, I went there. One of the other reasons why I chose to study in New Zealand is most of the bachelor degrees are only 3 years compared to the U.S. And you don't have to study another language before you start your courses. Everything is in English. So I was also thinking about time wise, how long it's gonna take me to complete the degree.
Yeah.
And that particular program I did with the University of Auckland was very much tailored towards what I do already as work, which is so I did a double major, Bachelor's of Arts in Social Science for Public Health, as well as Politics and International Relations. So
Wow.
it's a very unique combination, especially for an undergrad degree, which I think are skills and it's a knowledge base that you need to have if you're in health leadership or healthcare leadership. So it proved to be good. But the food, as you say, Rondi, it's a melting pot of different cultures. I'm gonna say that I didn't really have a chance to taste sort of local indigenous Maori cuisine, but everything else is there. You know, you have your range of fast food to really nice sort of formal dining experiences, different cuisines from all over the world, European, Middle Eastern, Indian cuisine, Japanese, Korean, they're all there. Um, but I do say that I like the fact that there's not so many sort of franchise fast food chains. I mean, there are some, but unlike the U.S. where it's like every corner you have a McDonald's or
Did you
whatever.
have a particular meal that you had to eat every day, or?
Well, you know, mind you, I was a student back then, so a student budget won't, you won't be fine dining every day. So I had to kind of be c- um, considerate of how much I had. But
What did you eat though? Ramen?
um,
Did they have ramen?
no, I didn't do that. No, I made sure I don't have ramen. But you know what's really interesting is I lost 60 pounds in the first year that I was there,
Wow.
because there's a lot of fresh produce, really good fresh meats,
Yeah.
produce. So it's a little bit easier to maintain a healthier diet. It's more accessible. So you know something that we continue to work on here in Palau is the access to fresh produce. But you know, for students going off to New Zealand, it's an easier place to stay healthy because the sidewalks are there. You can run and walk everywhere. You don't have to really take public transport,
Yeah, and
especially in Auckland and
it's
Wellington too.
it's such a thing there. It's such a thing
Yep.
in New Zealand. Walking, going to the bushes.
That's right.
You know, like
Yeah.
I think, and I wanna kind of just translate a little bit in Palauan. Tiang ako rawal المقمد الوايكر رغول دو سبي ما دو مداسول جيرل التال التمادر كده تلبلو نيوزيلندا ما كده الملقول واسي نكاكرو سقال عملو سيسيما هذا باس كول من كاكرو سو اسوبل السبعه المتجر نيوزيلندا سكيدا قرا وتريكل المالمله انترست نغال كده لا نيوزيلندا ما موراسكورا نيوزيلندا لنغا so atora media media ka a school la media belaw you know en tara basol se bedel moni el mutiga ka gid el toera a media ya kotel mle tigal el mo amerika le msubel gire la media len mri nga apply ka el rokuil mera blur belaw ne so el mo basol el msisi ashuka ngi nganya a toera culture ngi se bedel msubel gire la a media la semgrad apply ngi mora a blur belaw e a New Zealand am sisi a culture ngi el travel se bedel qura amonye was oji tagi da segal apply ngi mora la gal culture belaw you know Hawaii qura medel way segid ding gidam ding like you know Hawaii ako mlamo mal mlamo merigel mang travelul umestringin you know mal klol te al morgida al bela especially el al mlamo niya direct flight el mora balur Australia ngaraw do sa minister
Ja, kung daso nga isa lahat taligi bel waiget tilura walel sing taligi bel ngoda wada dula sing eltel ra dangara marigel dangara maklol siri ra marigel hindi sel the borsing of course ay ga maklol belul develop el siri hindi gadir ka filler sa gidil base hindi ra nga niya visible el gora tokora syugang ngani lete gidil syugang ra maori emang malungil belu kung daso mal maksar atal belam lamong almora school gira del increases el logo mang madangilo sa all time o masindra student mora Taiwan mora Marigel Guam Hawaii mang dakal makita ngani tirgal babira students la ku korasoril explore ku model syugang model culture. This is the perfect opportunity for students who wish to set themselves apart from the norm and the more common pathways to university, which is I mentioned Taiwan and University of Guam,
yeah
University of Hawaii. So yeah, it's really good for those who want to explore new places, new culture, and then get your education while you're there.
and that's what we were just saying too like you know the cultural aspect of it is similar to Palau because we're trying to you know hold on to a lot of our culture and you know the Maori people and New Zealand as well as they're trying to hold on as well to their culture and there's a lot of things that I think New Zealand being a big city and being you know sort of a more developed nation has figured out on how to hold on to that we could learn so I think that sort of you know bridges us into how this opportunity really is perfect for Palau and for Palau students because you know we're not going to a place that's like you know has no culture. No offense but to anybody out there. There, you guys have culture, but you know we're going to a nation that you know is an island nation like Palau.
Yes.
You know, so I think that's really cool. And then that brings us to this opportunity, the scholarship itself. So can you tell us a little bit about the scholarship, can you, what is the name of it? The
The
Manaaki,
Manaaki, yes.
New Zealand
Yes.
scholarship. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, as it is in the name, the Manaaki scholarship, you know, so it's drawn from our Maori roots back in New Zealand, from the word Manaaki tanga, and that is, you know, one of our New Zealand, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade's values. And what it means is that, you know, we operate in a way to show respect and honor the partners that we work with. So the Manaaki Scholarship is funded out of our development program. And it is then operated by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade, and there are a bunch of partners that we work with back at home and you know throughout the world as well too that will look at selecting the applicants to then offer up the scholarships in the event that their applications are successful. So the Manaaki Scholarship is it's a scholarship that offers tertiary studies, and that includes, you know, it starts from, you know, a student that's just finished high school looking for undergraduate studies, all the way up to postgraduate. You know, if you know there are candidates wanting to do or pursue a PhD studies, for
Wow.
example. And the Manaaki Scholarship is our flagship program, and it is the what we call the gold-plated scholarship for students. And and it provides full tuition fees, and it also provides a living allowance for the students as well too, because and it equates to, I think, so it does fluctuate a little bit because it does depend on, you know, the living costs throughout the world, and it is adjusted to that. But I think most recently it was approximately US $40,000 a year, so that is provided as a stipend for the scholars
Wow.
to
Wow.
live in New Zealand, and ideally, they wouldn't have to work as well too, just so we are providing them, I guess, what we call a living allowance.
Oh, that's amazing. So they don't have to do work study.
Ideally, no. So
Ideally, yeah.
yeah. I mean, you know, the circumstances may differ for
Yeah.
individuals, so it may differ. But ideally, you know, we give them enough of a stipend so they can focus on their studies fully, and then become a you know, a successful
That is
scholar.
amazing.
But on top of that, you know, there's the financial support, there's tuition fees that's paid as well, and then we also have full wraparound support for the scholars. So it's things like, you know, health insurance. We also provide flights back home. That does depend on how many you know, years the program that you're enrolled for is. So
Yeah.
it could be as many as could be as, you know, one per year, or one to maybe three throughout the lifetime of the program.
Right.
And yeah, so I guess for the scholarship, and especially for Palau, we are looking for, for students, you know, that are particularly interested in the areas of climate change and environment. So a
Wow.
lot of these sectors, or the subject areas that we're looking at, you know, we have discussed with the government of Palau on, you know, what are your development priorities that will help secure a better future for Palau and its people. So subjects like climate change and environment, disaster management. We have also governance, economics, fisheries, health and education. And if you are interested in those areas, we would really encourage Palauans to apply for these subjects. We have you know, universities in New Zealand that are world class in these subject matters, and it'll be a great opportunity for people to undertake these programs with us scholarships.
Wow, that is amazing. And I would encourage you as well to include media, because I think media is very big part of that.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm thinking about joining
Okay.
now because I'm also interested in the scholarship. But that's amazing, and it's a great opportunity for a lot of students that are really struggling to, you know, find funds to go to college. You know, and I think this is, you know, the way it's structured is really going to help students, you know, focus more on their study. Yeah. You'd like to add on to that, or?
Yeah, I think as I mentioned earlier, it's a great opportunity for both students that are just completing high school, but then it's also a good opportunity for what we call mature students, like myself. When I went in, I was 32 or something
Oh,
to do
so
my undergrad.
is there an age limit?
No,
No.
no.
No age limit. Wow.
And
Okay.
that's why it was key for me is the 3-year bachelor degree, because I wanted to go in and do it and then kind of accelerate my academic plans. And so that the opportunity is there for really anybody, for
Yeah.
any Palauan that wants to do something different from what most people are doing, as I had mentioned. The other thing that I wanted to say is you kind of mentioned the world class. So all of the universities in New Zealand are really good, but the University of Auckland, where I went to, is ranked. I think this year it's 65th in the world in terms of university ranking. So it's really good investment, and especially if it's a full scholarship that covers your tuition, and now we have a living allowance that's inflation adjusted.
Mm.
It's a good investment to strive to get a degree in New Zealand. Now it's not easy. I'm gonna say that. You
Yeah.
have to study, and you have to pass, and you have to keep your grades up, and but that's what education is. You have to put in the hard work, and to make that return on that is investment worthwhile.
And you mentioned another thing as well. So it's the Manaaki scholarship can cover any university in New Zealand.
That's correct. Yes.
How many universities are there in New Zealand?
Oh, putting me on the spot there. I believe there's around
lot.
11 universities.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I myself am also a graduate from Auckland University. So I did my
Wow.
undergraduate studies there. But I actually, this is a plug for, Palauans that might be classified as mature students as well. So it's quite common in New Zealand. So I myself was also a mature student. So I did, while I was working for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade over 2023 and 2024, I'd enrolled in part-time postgraduate diploma studies in strategic studies. So I
Wow.
did that did that through Victoria University in Wellington.
That's amazing.
So a bit of a split allegiance here. So,
Yeah.
Auckland graduate, but now also a Victoria University graduate as well.
Yeah. And I want to really emphasize that in Palau as well. Tayo kung dasing minister mal so tayo tiyam na sing, it's never too late. Like mal may na tial te al bangil el mal clol te al tayo lo niya sing bek pedengela a university a New Zealand. Dia ta di ba imol university mal di imol el lomsub bek pedengela te al a New Zealand. Ara tiket takal diran mo maulak kasik tia mal klol te al el mal giria adbelau mo meseringi mo konye take advantage ng ilang mal may lang el te al el mal sab el ngosaklia aklang kaw so mo mo lang sa tiang mal sab el ngosaklak lang kaw sa el ngosukara pek padingala atora rior matora aklaat maklangar. Yeah, so I was telling everybody that this is definitely going to help you in your life, and so it's an opportunity that can really maybe push you to the next step in your life, and help you excel. Yeah, yeah. So this is great,
Yeah.
amazing. Thank you so much for coming and sharing
Yeah.
this news. And so you've been in Palau for how many days already?
I've been here for almost a week, and I'll be here for another week, and I'll be flying out on
right.
Thursday.
Okay, and how do you like Palau so far? Like,
Oh, it's amazing. It's really beautiful.
did you go to the Rock Islands yet?
No, no. I tried to go out there, but because you have a lot of tourists here, I wasn't able to get myself on one of the tours. It was all booked out, which is great to see. It's good to see Palau doing very well.
Yeah, I hope you have a great trip here in Palau and enjoy it, because it'll probably opportunity will probably show, and you'll probably go to the Rock Islands. But
Yeah.
that's if not, then that's another reason for you to come back.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be, coming back every 3 to 4 months for the next 3 years. So,
All right.
yeah, hoping to come
That's
back
great.
fairly regularly. If I might just add, though,
Yeah.
so we will be advertising for the scholarship applications online. So we'll probably look at going through some traditional media as well, through newspaper and whatnot, but we'll also look at advertising it on Facebook. And
Is there a website for the scholarship?
yes, I can share that with you. Perhaps not now because I don't have it with me right now. But the applications will open from the 1st of February and it'll close on the 28th of February. So would highly encourage people to look out for the advertisements and just keep those dates in mind.
Yeah, and I'm sure we can search it online as well. The Manaaki
New Zealand
scholarship. So that's amazing. Thank you so much for that. Alam ko lang ang alas sa mga minister.
No, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity again for me to come and share yalgo koramle experience ng ngara school New Zealand. Adi sokan mo direkal duli asing taliban ngoda at time ra school.
Oh, I say.
So there's a difference in the school year. New Zealand and Australia follow the calendar year with school, as opposed to the US, where they have a traditional fall entrance semester lol nga Agosto. At so mga niya adal so din mo apply, keep that in mind that there's a different calendar year for university ra.
Ako lang sa sige man le kura ne discourage nga set time like mlo makita timing nga kay mo ko apply mo ko mamlo da kalsa ekal may nga lelen then in apple mo and all that stuff mong ako say mal close to talagang gira dal mal make sure ko mo dali sa timing man sa mo apply ra on time ka po late mo ko makita lang mo ila kam finish school ilway nga
Well, you still have time.
And I still have time, so
As
I'm
I
gonna
said,
apply.
it's never too late. And di sokan mo daw elegant dilong Randillos. It does open a lot of doors.
I see.
Um, nga kadim la kal di akto semle tigil mo tul ma school. Hindi wablok maasang oh, you know, I was in a relationship. We have a kid. Makulum na sa sayong ladigya time. It's too much of a sacrifice to leave and come back. But if you really want to do it, you can.
Yeah.
Kasi gidi akong daswing ngil attitude. You have to keep doing what you want to do, and once you get that degree, even though in the pabier,
More than
what it represents, what it symbolizes, is the knowledge, the skills that you gain, and of course the friends you make and the networks that you create while kang at school. So it's definitely worth it, and it does open a lot of doors. I mean,
yeah, I see.
nakam graduate 2018, 19, and then I was minister a couple of years later. But
Yeah.
kumaralo sa lamlak mo sa at least the bachelors, and talibin mo rin as you say, excel
I see.
in your career. So just do it. Just get it over and done with if you want to do it.
All right, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Minister. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, First Secretary. Thank you for giving us these great information about this great opportunity from another island nation, New Zealand. So thank you so much, and thank you to all the Kiwi people. All right, dim lagi kita kukuram na sa edek mong kuko ay silgir tagi el teal school Manaaki New Zealand scholarship mal kurang niya kami sa mil dire kalam ko lang may ki ko lang sa kamul el smiga kita information. Dim lagi kita ko mal sulat tune in. Back to you, Spy.